Hi Aquarius, it's good to see you. My name is Chandler Christine. This is your intuitive energy reading for the month of January 2019. We're going into a new year, Aquarius, and I have a few things to cover during this reading that have to do with what energies will be impacting you within the new year, what kind of things you're going to be setting your goals towards, setting your mind toward, setting an intention toward within the month of January. Okay, this energy that we're receiving, the very grounding energy, has the potential to help you through all of these transitions within the next year. So the easier you let go, the less resistance you have, and the more long-term you think, the better this will serve you in the long run. So let's get going. If you guys would like to check out my personal readings, you can go to my website at chandlerchristine.com. I will link my website in the description box below. So far we have the Counselor, the Hero, and the Two of Fire. Okay, so some of you could be involved with a fire sign, or simply getting a lot of passion and purpose when moving forward or toward something. We see you aiming your focus again in the new year in January from a place where you have really learned in the past. We have Queen of Water and the Four of Fire. Okay, I'm going to go intuitively on this one quite a bit because there's a lot of information coming through. If I said everything I could say, it would be a guesstimate. I think I know some of you are working on a relationship. Okay, there's a new chapter in loving relationships. So if you resonate with the messages coming forth already, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more. Abundance. This came up several times while I was shuffling your cards, so I definitely see that you've been waiting for some money. It's funny, who was it? Was it Aries that got the same card? No, Gemini. You could be involved with the Gemini. You may have some Gemini in your chart as well. Don't forget to check your sun, moon, or rising signs. We have a lot of information coming through. So we're just going to take this slow. We have the Ace of Water, Abundance, and Nine of Earth. Very, very cool. You have a great reading so far. You have a great spread so far. There's a lot to draw off of. There's a lot of changes. So, we may as well get covering the Capricorn energy, which I think will be serving you this month indefinitely. We have King of Earth and Ace of Earth. These are great cards. These are amazing. This is the beginning to a beautiful new year. This is what you wanted. Okay? All right. Let's look at these cards, okay? Because it'll help if you guys can see the way I'm explaining. Let's just turn them toward you, shall we? So I'm really happy about these cards. These cards are just the most amazing cards to end on. We have, it went kind of more like this, the Ace of Earth and the King of Earth. And then we have Nine of Earth and Abundance. And then we have these two here. It's two ladies. I guess this one's not really a lady, but it's a feminine energy nonetheless. Then we have these. And then these. Wow. So cool. So I really think that this is going to be an amazing year for you. I think you're expecting it to be an amazing year. I think that you know you can make it an amazing year. You may have something really going for you right now as far as love and partnerships. Maybe there's a new partnership at hand in business. Maybe there's a new opportunity that presents itself that is in turn a partnership with someone in a creative endeavor. Someone is coming into your life with a fiery passion toward you and toward the future, whether that be romantically or whether you may be involving yourself financially with someone. Not necessarily financially either. This is more of a creative aspiration, but a goal set. The goal that you wish to attain, that you wish to see. I feel that these three want to be together, these three want to be together, and these three want to be together. If we look at it like this, it's pretty obvious to me what you've been working on, what you've been feeling, and what you are going to receive. Okay, so it's very interesting here. We have this line of fire that comes in the very beginning of the month. Then we have the emotional work, the groundwork, the understanding of where you stand. And then we have the grounding, the manifesting, the seeing for it to fruition, to fruition. And this is what ultimately brings us abundance. So, before we get into the clarity, some of you are very familiar with my readings. We always start with the energy, and then we go into the clarity through the traditional interpretations of the tarot. Where I draw my intuition, or where I draw my insights from, is my intuition. Where I see the energy going for you is in just the most perfect, divinely orchestrated order to fortify and nourish a long-term situation for yourself. Starting from the ground up. Ironically, this is where you start. This is before it manifests. This is the inspiration. This is the purpose. This is the reason why. You're not going to see it in front of your face at this stage, but it doesn't make it any less real. There's a coupling. There's a partnership. There's something that has evolved in your life to then hopefully be taken much more seriously in the new year. Maybe this is someone you meet on New Year's Eve. This is a huge expansiveness right in the beginning of your year where you may have otherwise felt directionless. It makes clear the direction that you're aiming. It makes it easy to say then that you can be the hero given the circumstances. Playing the cards you're dealt, you can be the hero of your story. With the Two of Fire, we see a Gemini. There is another resonance with a Gemini here. Otherwise, it can be a fire sign. We have a super blood moon in the first degree of Leo toward the end of the month. This is talking about an eclipse of the heart. This is talking about something that was otherwise misinterpreted or misconstrued becoming clear over your past. This is talking about being the phoenix, rising from the ashes, being rebirthed and to feel vital. With this direction, I feel like comes a sense of responsibility, and that's where maybe the hero has overcome their obstacles, overcome adversity to be rebirthed, to be the phoenix, to rise above, and to then tackle those obstacles, to be then the savior. Very interesting information coming through. We have the Counselor, the Queen of Water, and the Ace of Water, representing here that there are some teachings coming to you on an emotional level that are very insightful. Again, you're using your intuition to break through some of these barriers. This is a breakthrough emotionally. There is new terms of love. There are new standards of understanding. Okay, we're talking about insightfulness toward your emotional well-being, where the Queen of Water is very intuitional. She's supportive, she's nurturing, and she's open, all right? She's open. And I'm just now stepping out of your energy. I'm just now stepping out of this fiery expansiveness. There's a lot going on, and every time I go back to this energy, I start feeling like this. So there's a lot and you want it, and there's this huge desire to move forward. But then there's this other aspect in your month that you really need to focus on and hone in on. Okay, with the Counselor, the Queen of Water, and the Ace of Water, you realize that this is going to take a lot more time. This is going to be your baby, so to speak. You need to nourish this beginning. You need to seek counsel. You need to get a mentor so that you can be guided through these ever-flowing waves and not just stuck in a puddle. You need to be moving. You need to be free-flowing. And the way that this is flowing is in a new direction for you, then to reemerge the hero of your story. But again, the groundwork is then being the student before you can become the teacher. Where we are headed within the month of January is very much on a path of self-mastery, because this whole year is dedicated to self-mastery. This whole year is 2019. It's an 11 karmic mastery year. We're talking about reaching the pinnacle of sorts, of senses, of understanding, okay? And we can't do that without first maybe experiencing some of the hardships that we will eventually overcome, right? So this is the experience you're getting. You're feeling this. This is right where you stand. This hits you at home, where the counselor, the ace of water, and the queen of water meet you. They meet you. And I don't know where they meet you. Okay, we're going to find out where they meet you. We're going to find out what they mean to say, because I'm getting that there's something here profound that you've been working on for a while, and maybe you've been involved with a water sign. Otherwise, love is coming your way, and you need to be prepared for something. So then the 9 of fire, ace of earth, and the king of earth. This is very interesting because where we see the 9 of earth also is to say, look, this is a gift. You've been given something. It is your turn then to give it back. But this is slow-moving energy, so the universe doesn't expect you to be like, I'm at the pinnacle of my success. I'm just going to give everything and devote my life to a purpose. You're just figuring this out. You're just realizing that there is a gift, okay, in this card, and that it's going to take some time to refine what your gift is, to give it back, to lend a hand, to be of service. This is Aquarius coming out at the very end of the season, okay, where Capricorn then flows into Aquarius is much more of a humanitarian energy, and this is a 9 telling us the chapter has ended here, which is on a good note, because the things that you have been gifted are very much in the line of abundance, which we see over here. Let's not discount or forget about abundance. We're definitely going to get to that. But we're talking about abundance in the home and family area. Okay, home and family. You could be receiving news on a piece of real estate. You could be receiving a check in the mail from something that was otherwise delayed. The waiting is over. This is a new chapter evolving, over time in the long term. But it's as if you get notice this month. It's as if you realize this month. It's as if you can actually tangibly work on this month. So we'll get into the clarity and see what other information comes up. But I'm really excited about that. I think that this month is going to be beautiful for you. I always say abundance, too, reminds me so much of an Aquarius. And we did say as well that the 9 of earth is kind of where Aquarius season begins, being the humanitarian and the water bearer. This is your energy coming in very strong. So maybe within the month of February, and even in the ending days of January, you can start to see your own energy coming through in the form of abundance and prosperity. This is a gift. This is a gift that keeps giving. Okay, so the Fool. The Fool comes up to just reiterate here where the 4 of fire, the 2 of fire, and the Hero stay. The Fool is to say there are so many lessons, there's so much expansion, and there's so much to be had in the new year that you feel a bit the Fool in the way that you have a profound direction. It's very insightful, very philosophical, but not really clear-cut, okay? The Fool. The Fool is a new year. The Fool is the new year. It's where time is on your side. It's ascension. It's where you've been going forever, but where you find yourself now. There is a twin flame, maybe here. Okay, so we have 2 of Pentacles and the Chariot. So some of you may be involved with a water sign. We had said that before. This could be a Cancer specifically, though I don't want to get too fixated on the signs. Energetically speaks louder than words. So with Two of Pentacles and the Chariot, we see you driving your life, directing your life, taking charge of your life in the best and highest ways in January. Whether this is a New Year's resolution or whether this is simply changing your beliefs, changing your thoughts, shifting your habits. It could be subtle. This is talking about long term, this benefiting you in the long term. We also see a very strong recognition here with the Hero and the Chariot. You know, we had discussed this being a Cancerian energy. Cancer in the traditional tarot interpretation. This is the traditional tarot. So we have a synchronicity here. We have intuition being validated. We have divine messages coming through already for you. Okay, and we had remarked upon a twin flame. You know, the Fool speaks of infinity. You know, this is a game that maybe you guys sometimes do. I don't know where I should go. I don't know what I'm going to do. If the Chariot and the Fool ever met up, they'd have a really hard time picking one direction to go in together. You know, it's always going to be this, because the Fool, it has different aspirations than the Chariot. That's where it lies. Their intentions are different. And we have another synchronicity as well. So where we see the Fool is this person who thinks they have the direction, right? They really think they have the direction, and man, are they hell-bent on that direction. And then we have the Two of Fire, which is maybe talking about the long term, how this is going to pan out. How are you guys going to afford something? How are you guys going to do this together? You know, where do you guys meet in the middle? Someone's making a decision. Someone's making moves, okay? But I don't see you guys headed in the same direction. I see that you guys are both moving in opposite ways. But that both of you see so many similarities that it's hard for you guys to differentiate whether you should be together or not. Because there's a certain middle ground. There's a certain like-mindedness. And maybe the two do benefit each other until it's time to truly be authenticated. And that's where these two have a difficult time separating. That's where these two paths are merged into some weird directions, some weird intentions. The Fool and the Chariot talk about you, Aquarius, needing to recognize and differentiate between the two, between the Fool maybe freely going about his journey and the Chariot being very direction-oriented and having insight to his mind and his heart. Where they meet is the direction to go. So yeah, you're getting insight here. This is a strong insight over your passion relationships, over the purpose behind them, reasons why this has happened for you, what you needed to see in order to overcome this and leave this cycle. Because the Fool is going through a cycle, though it may be a long one, and though it may not feel like a cycle because every element is slightly different, it's a cycle. The Chariot and the Hero is where you leave this cycle. The Chariot is where you become the self-sufficient, dependable, not emotionally needy, solid and down-to-earth person that you've needed to be. Aha! Ace of Pentacles. This is a great reading so far. I hope that you are resonating with this reading because there's so many synchronicities, there's so much information that I'm kind of having a hard time keeping up with it if you can't tell. I'm talking a million miles a minute, and I just hope that this is making sense to you because I'm having the funnest time trying to connect all the dots, but I'm trying to be choosy of best and most useful messages for you. So the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Water, and the Ace of Earth all align here. We have Ace of Earth, Ace of Water. We have Queen of Water, we have King of Earth. Okay, we have the Counselor, and we have the Humanitarian, right? We have these people in service and of creation and of royalty, right? So this tells me you deserve something. This tells me that you have been working diligently on something. And the Ace of Pentacles is finally arriving at your door, and you finally have a little bit more wiggle room. Maybe it gives you the space to choose. Maybe it provides you what you need to move on and move forward with something. This has been a long time coming. This has been maybe you feeling like a lady in waiting. With the Counselor, we see that, you need to have money in order to move forward, and maybe you need to have money to expand your horizons. Maybe you need money to pay the counselor, to pay the tutor, to pay the mentor, to purchase the classes, to expand your horizons in that way for the long term. You need money. We're talking about tuitions. We're talking about loans. We're talking about financial responsibility and obligations, being dependable, solid. This is all coming to you within January. Where a Queen of Water is, she's moving, okay? Though Ace of Pentacles doesn't move very fast, it's a long time coming, it's a long time to come. It guarantees success in the future. And where Queen of Water goes is only where her intuition and her intentions flow. So your life is flowing this way. And to devote this investment to that direction would be a very wise investment. This will ultimately lead to the Ace of Earth, to the King of Earth, to the Ace of Water, to the Counselor, to the Nine of Earth, and to abundance. This is all making sense. So how it relates to this fiery energy, I think this is really what's telling you needs to completely come to a close. A lot of signs are coming up this way in the beginning of January because these things were not supposed to follow you into 2019. You were supposed to let go of these habits and steer your life in the right direction in Sagittarius season. This is where you had the arrow. This is where you had the armor. This is where you had the direction, optimism, and enthusiasm, to relentlessly move on. This season, in Capricorn season, you're going to have nostalgia over the old. You're going to be looking at, some of the things that have gone on in past relationships or past experiences. You're going to be revisiting the restrictions. You're going to be revisiting the challenges. And you're going to have to put in your work to move on. It's not easy being the hero. You have to face adversity to be the hero. You have to see and understand the dark to be the chariot. Okay? You have to be able to differentiate between the light and the dark. And it seems these two, though they may be very helpful to one another's higher purpose, ultimately they're headed in two directions. And this is not going to sustain itself. And it's certainly not going to benefit you in the year to come. I don't see it down here at all. Not yet. Okay? This is talking about true long-term commitment. And I feel you committing much more to yourself this month and having it be a profound realization that the efforts you put toward yourself will be reaped within the next year. And it's funny that I got brought back to the relationship issue because we have another kind of misconstrued or misunderstood energy popping up for you. Okay, this is maybe why you're seeking the counsel. Because where we see this relationship is a very intense, very fast-paced, very expensive. I just feel like yelling when I go to those cards. So the counselor is where you guys can't even talk. You guys, it's like there's miscommunication. There's misunderstood words. Intentions are misunderstood. Not only that, but it's just simply annoying. When I see this card, it's like, this guy just keeps taking my swords, and I don't know why he's taking my swords. He thinks it's funny. He thinks it's funny or something, and it's really not funny, because then I have to keep doing these things, or I have to keep saying these things over and over again, and they're not taking me seriously, and it's not working. The defenses that I have and the clarity that I'm giving them, they're acting like it's a game. And there's such a lack of sincerity that even the counselor is going to come to you like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking by still entertaining these habits? What are you thinking by still entertaining this misinterpretation? And I say misinterpretation because this could be an aspect of self that is being misguided, saying you can't, you won't, you shouldn't, you're not able, not now. These are the elements of self-criticism that really hold you back. They hold you back, and it's annoying because every time you come back to the what if I could do this for myself, and you're highly aspirational and you have these goals in mind, you talk yourself down and out of doing it for yourself. I don't know what to tell you. I think that, to be honest, you need to be brutally honest with yourself and say, maybe I do need to find a mentor. Maybe I do need to understand this element of self or others to just make sense of why this happened, what I'm supposed to do with what I have now, what I'm supposed to do with what's been done to me. How can I use this? How can I begin to use my defenses? How can I begin to communicate effectively and efficiently? How can I build up my insecurities, in other words? How can I learn to trust? Again, we have another 11, which we have the hero, we have the counselor, okay? We have the counselor telling you, hey, look, it's okay that you've carried on for this long in this same state of mind. It's okay that you haven't been able to let go of that something that was so captivating and mesmerizing and fast-paced and intense and satisfying. But ultimately, when it was done, the fire burnt you out. When it was done, the fire took its toll, and you could not go any longer with what had been done and what had been said in the same way that you had been going. This is a chapter that's coming to a close. This is everything that you need to know in order for the counselor, for the information coming to you through the intuitive senses, through your emotional realm. This breakthrough has to happen for you to get back to this Ace of Pentacles, for you to accept all the things that are coming to you this next year. And this isn't a year-long reading, but we can see tidbits of your year unfolding within January, as always. Okay, there's a theme here. There's a theme in your life, Aquarius. There's a theme of people stabbing you in the back. There's a theme of people doing you wrong. There's a theme of not being able to choose for yourself, and for maybe feeling the fool when people direct you in the wrong way, for being pulled into other people's story. And you know what? The Chariot has been silent a lot of this time, where the Fool has just been yelling. He's just been like, my way or the highway, But this is what leads you to cycles over and over again with maybe the same people, And this is all becoming more clear to me as we go, because I see, some of the habits that weren't supposed to follow you into the new year, that you are still self-validating. You are still saying, this person wouldn't do that to me, or I wouldn't do that to myself, and you're hiding in the dark. Well, guess what? There, you can't anymore. Something's coming to you. Some bigger realization into the depths of your self-sabotage, the depths of your complacency, the status or principle in which you lay your foundation for love. There are aspects that you really need to work on that are not going to serve your highest goals within the next year. This is a cycle that's coming to an end so that you can become the karmic mastery over your relationships and over yourself, Aquarius. These are your words coming back to you. These are really strong messages of clarity. Okay, so where you seek answers is where you get them. And that's really what the counselor represents. It doesn't need to be a person. Although it could be a water sign, it could be a counselor, a mentor, or teacher, tutor, guidance counselor, that kind of thing. But, again, it can be an energetic quality that the universe is really shedding some light on the questions that you've been seeking. You've been seeking answers into reasons why there has been lack of depth, lack of sincerity, trust issues, insecurities, manipulation, game playing, never-ending stories, victimhood, self-sabotage. I know that this is going, kind of out there, but there's no way I'm going to let you off the hook with cards like these. There's no way. This has to be squashed so you can have the most amazing 2019 out of anyone. You deserve it. Okay? So I'm just here to help you. I'm just here to guide you, and maybe I'm a bit of the counselor. Maybe I'm giving you that emotional breakthrough that you need. I hope so. Because as soon as you get it, man, do you move forward. And now we can really move forward. With the Emperor, okay? The Emperor. This is amazing. This is you. This is Aries. But this is you moving forward. You're able to create. You're able to cultivate. You understand. There are guidelines in which you put in place this year. Page of Pentacles, Three of Wands, and King of Wands. I mean, this is like a new day. This is like a new day. This is something that comes to you in the way that you're able to redirect your life. All right, this is an opportunity. This is maybe somebody that calls you up and says, hey, offers you some money for a bit of your physical labor. This is something that is an opportunity that may seem small at first, but has the potential to really grow itself into an amazing entrepreneurial endeavor. So be on the lookout for that. This could be overseas. This could be somewhere else. Translocation may be involved, but we're talking maybe long distance. We're talking about something that's taking you away. Where we see the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles is like, this is progress, where you have then let go of the things in the past that seemed like there was a lot of change and it was a lot of good stuff and a lot of expansion, a lot of satisfaction instantly. It wasn't so good for you, was it? You're needing to draw back, to recalibrate, to put into perspective, and to envision this growth step by step. This is how it happens for you. This is how it happens for you. You get the pentacle, you see the pentacle, you go for the pentacle. Okay? Very, very cool. King of Earth, start anew somewhere else. Okay, you send word, you get word. There's news, there's clarity, there's information, there's an idea, there's truth. It comes to you as the King of Earth, as something that's wishing to sustain you for maybe 7 years. It's something that wants to come into your life as a gust of wind and carry you through the garden like pollen, so you can germinate the rest of the flowers, so you can grow your garden. So where we see this Ace of Swords is wanting to then be planted in this fertile soil. You have fertile soil here. You have an opportunity. You have something coming your way, a direction, and then it's only a matter of the vision. It's only a matter of the know-how. Okay, we see the sun. This could be the sun entering into Aquarius, okay, where we see the Ace of Earth is another home. It's a new home. It's a new member of the family, where we see the sun is also Leo, the childlike energy, representing new beginnings, childlike, playful energies, and auspicious opportunities. So you're getting a lot of really good support from the universe, though I'm not feeling like super nurturing. I'm feeling like you need a bit of tough love to even see that this is a possibility for you, to even know what to do. You've been so distracted. So the Ace of Swords and the sun is like telling you, hey, it's right in front of your face. It's not going to get any clearer. And by the time you realize this is what you'll already have. So don't worry this month. You're going to totally be guided. This one might hurt a little as far as what kind of truth is really hitting you, but you need it. you need it in order to recalibrate, balance, and solidify what changes you've been asking for. If you've been asking the universe for help, here it is. But you have to put in the work. And Capricorn season is all about putting in the work. But ideally, it's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. Working with the forces of the universe. Working with what you've got. Working with the opportunities you have. And being humble to the new beginnings that have the potential to make you. They have the potential to make you. So be diligent, be aware, and be humble in the transition. You can have what you're desiring. You can have this new beginning in home and family, this gift from the universe that keeps on giving. You can be the humanitarian you want. You can be put to good use if you just are able to sustain the kind of growth and the trajectory that I see you having the ability to. Okay, Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands comes up in the place of Nine of Earth, just to say here that this is a new direction. This is something that has absolutely been a calling for you. Maybe you're working with pets. I'm getting that specifically, that you have kind of a soft spot or compassion for pets who are displaced in their homes. There's something that expands for you in the home front. So this could be that a friend moves in with you for a time being because, they've been a little hard up for money and they need the support. And I feel that this person comes into your world fairly quickly and that you lend them a hand and that ultimately this is the gift that keeps giving. So if you help another, it will come back to you. This is good karma. This is the way Saturn works, and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. So again, it kind of re-emerging in your life as a theme, but nonetheless, this happens fairly quickly and it's for good reason. So trust your instincts and trust your willingness and ability to give this month. We have abundance coming up at us at the very end, which I saved for the very last card because I really want to see if this is new money. Yeah, okay, it is. But it's deserving as well. Okay, there's some kind of legality. Maybe there is some justice needing to be done over this situation. Again, like we were saying, the counselor and all these hard up feelings towards another person who is just at the end of the day plain annoying with their antics. You come to the judgment, to the idea and to the reference here that you no longer need to suffer. You no longer need to suffer through these intricacies of your journey. They happen for a reason, and that's all you need to know. You don't need to dwell on it any longer. I feel that Aquarius, you tend to dwell. You tend to really want answers to an exhausting extent. Maybe it's better to just leave it as is to move on to better and more fulfilling things. If you don't feel that you can, the universe will show you, okay? The universe is going to show you, whether you like it or not, that you are wrong to stay in the same place you are in now. You need to move. You need to trust that the universe would never do you wrong. It's always up for your highest and best outcome, where we see the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands and the Sun and the Ace of Swords. You get word, and it's time to move, so trust. Trust that you no longer need to suffer. The universe would not do something to you that is not going to benefit you. This is a form of abundance that's waiting to enter your life. All you need to show the universe is that you trust its inner workings and that you're willing to do the work. All you have to do is be willing to do the work. Be willing to show up. Be willing to be consistent. Be willing to lend a hand. Be willing to, shine your light. Create a little bit of playfulness in the home. Be lighthearted. The whole point of spirituality and our spiritual paths as souls is to become enlightened. And really along the way, that means to lighten up, to be lighthearted, to let go, to renew yourself, to shine light upon the areas that were otherwise dead or stagnant, to then grow and become and renew and expand. And with a year like this in 2019, having Jupiter in Sagittarius and having a super blood moon in the first degree of Leo within the month, it's like really setting the stage here for leaving the past behind. It's really setting the stage here for what kind of path you wish to unfold within the year. And if that means translocation, if that means opportunism, if that means expansion, if that means abundance, you can get it, but you have to trust. You have to be able to sense when it's time to move, when it's time to leave, when it's time to move forward, when it's time to go, when it's time to release. and when it's time to surrender. And these are all the challenges. These are all the aspects. But if you're committed, that's really where the universe says, all right, I think we're ready. All right, I think he's ready. All right, I think she's ready to move forward. So if I didn't say we had Judgment, the Three of Swords, and Ace of Wands, this is exactly the suffering that is coming to an end, and the clarity that comes over maybe some past relationships as well. Okay, we have renewal. This is the Phoenix. This is the serpent shedding its skin. Okay, it's not an easy process, but it is necessary. Everyone has to be this at some point in their lives. Whether they be, a snake or a phoenix, however you regard yourself, you're going to be moving toward light. Okay, it's going to be lighter. It's going to be lighthearted. It's going to be fiery expansion, with promise of renewal, with promise of happy endings. So keep your sights high, keep your aspirations higher. You can attain it. You can shed the old. You can get clarity, and you can feel renewed. Rest, Aquarius. Switch off the mind. A short holiday would do you a world of good at this time. A change of scenery results in a renewed clarity and sense of purpose. Thank you so much, Aquarius. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video, and visit my website if you'd like a personal reading. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.